been with Instacart for 2 years now. I run our agency partnership team, so that includes everything with includes our API partners, big holding companies, as well as that very long list of independent agencies.
Fun fact, I met Suzanne, 2 years ago? It was like your first week at Instacart, maybe?
Yeah,
so she's been stuck with me for a while. So.
BFF.
Yes. All right, let's get into it. Agenda, what you'll see today. So 2 sections. Suzanne is going to go through the Instacart view as a brand builder for the display and the brand pages, which is the cool new stuff. And then I'm going to go ahead and pick up with the Instacart funnel itself. So if you like funnels, this presentation is for you. There are so many. And no, I did not invert any. I just decided to keep it classic. They're all funnels. You will like the funnel within a funnel, though. Stay tuned. All right. And of course, it does all go into advertising as well. So Suzanne, if you would like to take it away.
Doing the beer funnel right after.
Yes. So that's at happy hour.
So I'm here to talk about Instacart just briefly, but also all of our new full funnel advertising formats that we've been rolling out. But clearly the pandemic had a huge impact on Instacart. I don't know how much longer we can say that. But with COVID ending and the fact that people are feeling much more comfortable going into the stores, Instacart is still growing. Our customers continue to value our services, and our Instacart business does remain strong. We are the leading grocery technology company in North America, and we work with over 800 different retail banners, and that translates into over 70,000 retail locations that are living within our marketplace. In terms of the retail banners that we work with, these are all brands that you know and love, and they do represent over 80% of U.S. grocery sales. So pretty big footprint within our marketplace. And our shoppers have also helped us with that growth. We have over 600,000 shoppers who are actually picking the products off the shelf, putting it in cart, checking out, and delivering it to either your homes or your cars. And these are the people that enable us to really offer the full range of fulfillment options to our suite of customers' needs. And that is everything from a few products in minutes. Last night, I needed pinoli nuts for my pesto. I used Instacart. It was delivered within minutes. To your grocery orders in as fast as an hour, and then also your scheduled deliveries that can be either picked up or delivered to your home. And we've also started to expand beyond grocery. We're breaking into some new verticals as well. We have pets, and we have a partnership with Petco. We have beauty with a partnership with Sephora. We're consumer electronics with Best Buy. We are home improvement with Lowe's, and also home goods with what is the one that's all Bed Bath & Beyond. And then also we're breaking into pharmaceuticals and with partnerships with CVS. And then our ads business continues to grow. We are partnered with over 5,000 different CPG brand manufacturers through our ads business. So I'll spend a lot more time now on ads, and our team's mission is all about connecting brands with consumers to help them discover the products that they will love. And discover is a really important word here, and it's a major focus for us this year because our consumers aren't just coming to our site and finding one thing and leaving. They are coming to our site for discovery and inspiration. So this year we are very focused on making sure we're driving that. And I do want to spend a little bit more time on that consumer mindset because not every e-commerce platform is created equal. And in many cases, some e-commerce platforms, the consumers going in, they're buying a few things and they are leaving. But again, Instacart is all about discovery. Our Instacart consumers are looking for inspiration, ideas on what to eat. They're walking the virtual store aisles, and they are building a very full basket, and they are doing it at the local retailers that they know and love. And she's also browsing recipes and also looking at personalized suggestions that are surfaced to her based on her previous shopping behaviors. And they are very much the need it now mindset. It used to be 2 hours or less. We are seeing that people want it even quicker. When you look at other leading e-commerce platforms, they are very rooted in search because that consumer is only buying a few things, in some cases only one thing. They are coming in, they know exactly what they are searching for, and they put it in their basket, they check out, it's delivered to their home in 2 days or less. You need to consider the difference in those strategies when thinking about your e-commerce campaigns on Instacart. So a major goal of ours this year is to transform from that bottom of the funnel transactional buy to more of an inspirational shop. And we want to create an experience that allows consumers to find their favorite products that they love quickly, but also inspires them when they might not know exactly what they are looking for. And I love this slide because it's amazing to see the transformation in our app in the past year. I actually wish I had a side-by-side. But last year, if you looked at our app, it was basically a bunch of search results with a bunch of product listings. We have been really focused on making sure that we are transforming our experience and that consumers can be inspired and discover new products wherever they are in their customer journey on Instacart. So these screens show you examples of some of the new products that we've built, display ads, our brand pages, and then the last one there is a new surface actually that we launched called Last Minute Editions. And this is huge for many of those impulse purchases that brands have been so challenged with the growth of online grocery shopping. So let's get into our display ads. We are a nascent platform, so believe it or not, our display ads are a fairly new product for us. We consider them to be upper and mid funnel, and really gives brands the opportunity to go beyond the sponsored product ads that we normally sell on our site. And using these solutions, brands can now create awareness of their product, they can increase consideration, and they can also stay top of mind with consumers during everyday shopping moments on our site. And the display ads launched within our self-serve platform in Q4 of last year. It is an auction-based product. It is a first price auction as of right now, but it enables brands to target consumers throughout their shopper journey. And the two levers that we use for that are either behavioral targeting or keyword targeting. And so for the targeting levers, we always recommend to start with behavioral targeting first, because that's going to help you to scale your reach and your campaigns to as many qualified users as possible. And you can target based on past purchase behavior. So for instance, if I'm a yogurt brand, I can target consumers that have purchased yogurt in the last 90 days. But I can also layer in that they haven't purchased my brand. So great way for that yogurt company to drive trial or re-engage a lapsed user. And then you can also target based on keyword within your category and complementary categories. How am I doing on time? So here's some examples of some keyword targeting. First screenshot showing the consumer is doing a search on ice cream, and the targeted display ad shows several Unilever ads in the ad, Unilever ice cream brands. And then the second example is a search term for milk, and this banner from Quaker is reminding that consumer that they might also consider buying cereal for their milk. And then in the third example, the consumer is searching for cheese, and this ad is suggesting that if you like cheese, you also might like Noosa yogurt. So digging into how to launch campaigns on Instacart, again, always recommend starting with broad targeting. In order to create awareness, we suggest targeting consumers that have bought your category, and you can do this all the way up to the last 180 days. In order to increase consideration and drive trial with new consumers, we recommend choosing a look back window based on your buying cycle. And then you can also target people that have bought the category but not your brand to drive trial. And then in order to drive share and category growth, that's when we recommend targeting category buyers or adjacent, complementary, and competitive keywords. So shoppable display ads, we are coming out of our pilot for shoppable display ads, and it will soon be launching in GA in the coming weeks. But think of this as almost a virtual pop-up shop on Instacart, because it allows the consumer to put things into their cart seamlessly without having to click away. So you're putting it into your cart right from the ad. These do serve on search results, and they have that add to cart functionality built right in. You can also direct links to your product display pages so users can learn more. And then you can also link to your brand pages, which I'll get into in a few seconds, so that consumers can further discover your brand portfolio. And then shoppable display, this is something our advertisers have been begging for. We're so excited about this. It is in pilot right now, and a great way to connect with consumers in a meaningful way. I'm just showing you a bunch of different creative here, but as you can see right under the video ad, there is also add to cart functionality here with up to 3 UPCs, which helps with consideration and driving bigger baskets. And then the consumer can also learn more by clicking on the item detail page right within the ad as well. Here's another example of a Kool-Aid video. In terms of the functionality, it is autoplay, but the sound is muted when the consumer is looking at it. In terms of the length of the video, it's anywhere from 3 seconds to 30 seconds. And then here's another example. As you can see, it shows up right on the search page, and the user can also click at the top section, and you can drive consumers to your brand pages as well. So all these new ad formats, where are we sending them to? I told you, brand pages. The brand page is exactly what it sounds like, a page for your the advertisers to tell their brand story. And you can use it to drive both on-site and off-site media to these pages, and really, this is an area for brands to create a highly curated shopping experience by using everything from lifestyle imagery, hero imagery. You can include promotions and your savings, as well as your own content like curated recipes. And the best part is it is free. So you can build them for each of your brands or sub-brands. You can build them evergreen living on our site, or you can build seasonality, for instance, barbecue season, but a great opportunity to have your consumers really explore your entire brand portfolio. And then whether you drive on-site or off-site media to these brand pages, it really does let you seamlessly be in front of customers throughout their entire journey, all the way up from inspiration, discovery to actual purchase. And we do offer closed loop reporting, so you can understand exactly what the engagement is on that site, on the brand page, and that all lives within our Ads Manager tool. All of this is actually built. Your brand page is actually built within Ads Manager as well. And with this, brands will receive their own distinct URL. The templates are extremely flexible, giving you the opportunity to, again, include things like your brand logo, lifestyle imagery, curated collections, as well as there's also add to cart functionality. Savings and promotions are included there as well. And in terms of the tool and being in Ads Manager and getting it up and running, it is fairly easy to run. So great opportunity for you guys to create highly curated destination for your consumers to learn more about your product and your portfolio. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Elizabeth to talk about how all of these products work together for effective campaigns.
Thank you. All right, so it is a shame that the Kool-Aid Man video is muted, because in my head, when I saw him, I heard the sound. So that's some solid branding. I also love yellow dinosaurs, because I love yellow dinosaurs. Who doesn't? All right, so let's get into it. Solid Instacart foundation. So in order to be able to apply all of the nice things that Suzanne talked about, we're going to go with our 3 pillars here. So product coverage and completeness. So that has to do with your national distribution, multiple retailers, where you are. As you know, Instacart doesn't break out the different retailers, so you have to look at it a little bit more holistic level. But also putting into that with your product coverage and completeness, those brand pages, those product detail pages, they have given us the tools to level those up. I highly, highly recommend it before you start spending all that money driving to those pages. I know we've seen this, we've done this before. Google showed us this 20 years ago, but yeah, we still are here talking about it. All right, advertising and testing. We do recommend that you test the full catalog or advertise the full catalog, mostly due to the fact about, again, distribution, where you may be more heavy in one place versus another. One of the things I love about Instacart is how many layers a user has to go in before they even begin the search, right? So they have to open Instacart, which already indicates a fair amount of intent. You don't just go into Instacart, you're like, I'm just going to browse today, right? That's not quite how your behavior starts when it comes to Instacart. You got to enter your geography, then you select a store, then you begin the search, right? So how far are you already down the funnel? So advertising the full catalog makes sense from a national distribution perspective based on where they're already at. And I always looked at it this way. It's a physical product already sitting somewhere on a shelf. Might as well move it. Top 3 placements are always those going to get those higher click-throughs, which you already know. And of course, it wouldn't be an advertising presentation if I didn't say sufficient budget coverage now, right? But one thing I will note with that is it is difficult, I will say, to sometimes have enough budget to do the full day with Instacart, because they do have a fair amount of traffic, just a little. So I do recommend utilizing things like intraday pacing or budget coverage, kind of like space that out to make your day work. I'm going to skip a little bit over some of these because Suzanne got so much of it in her presentation, but these are takeaways. What I did was I took each one of these advertising types and I put them against the funnel in terms of what you might want to do in terms of activation. So sponsored products, that's your conversion all day long. On-site display, that does include the new shoppable video and the new shoppable display. I do put those obviously in the awareness and consideration bucket. And then brand pages is your awareness. What you may or may not know is about some of the more managed opportunities. You do work with Instacart directly to activate on these. So the coupons are your consideration, and conversion, your delivery promotions, those are higher up. Those do require a larger distribution, a larger footprint in order to make those fly. And then those hero banner or aisle banner ads. All right, so sponsored products. Just wanted to put this in here again. It's a workshop, so I expected to put some tactical things in there, and I'm sure some folks are like, yeah, I do this every day. Thanks a lot. But if you don't, this is here for your reference. This, I think, is useful. This is one of the things that we worked on at Tinuiti and trying to figure out what is the best campaign structure when it comes to Instacart. So we do this for Amazon, we do this for Google, we do this for Walmart. So when you think about how is it that I want to structure my campaigns and my ad groups within that, and then, of course, knowing that Instacart keywords are exact match. What is the best way to get those going? And then, of course, layering that on top of our now new offerings in display and some of the the managed offerings. So this is here for you in terms of, like, again, these are our suggestions on how we would break it out to create a fully functioning Instacart campaign. All right, some more tactically things. Product mix. We just call it product mix and we put capitals on it so it looks like it, patent pending, but it's really just all the products at once. So how are you going to advertise those, adding more products overall? The one major takeaway I would put on this slide is the bottom one there on the single unit SKUs. So I have a fair amount of clients who understand, and we've structured around the fact that single unit SKUs don't usually, they may convert, but you usually don't make that much money off them, right? They're usually losers, right? A single can of something, depending on what it is. Pack sizes are always better. However, drives new to brand, right? We want to drive the trial. We want to drive the awareness. So being very strategic about which SKUs that we're going to push and where and how hard. Bid landscape tool. I love this one. This is a FOMO one. Okay, come on. If you were in Google at all, like 10 years ago, you recognize this one. So what it does, and this is the other thing I like about it, is it does also give you the attributed sales that you might expect as far as like a forecasting. So if you were to change your bid from the suggested bid from the CPC on the CPC, how much you might expect to spend, how many clicks you might expect to get, and what your attributed sales might be. So it gives you a little bit more confidence when you select, yeah, okay, let's see where this goes. I am a big fan of this tool, honestly, because even if you don't adopt it, at least it gives you an idea of where you're sitting to be able to say yes or no. Optimized bidding. I hate to say it, but this is really good. So I know, because we didn't build it, you guys built it, it's great. But it is a great tool to implement on your campaigns in terms of if you don't have a bid management tool or you don't have humans that can go in and touch on a regular basis. This is a good way to get some of those, if we go back to that campaign structure, some of the more lower touch campaigns that you don't need to be as active with. I think we all know about the 80-20 rule. So like 80% of the catalog, you're not going to mess with too much, but that 20%, that high performing SKUs that are either high demand or like fragile in terms of distribution or stock in stocks or out of stocks, you're going to spend your time there. This is a good way to get those 80%. So automatically sets those bids, dynamically adjusts. Do recommend giving it a ROAS target. Do give it some directions. And we have seen in most cases it does pretty darn well. All right. Getting into past search, self-service display. So self-service display, obviously Suzanne just went over a bunch of that in terms of benefits, what's it like. We don't know yet in some cases, I'll be honest, like as far as like general release comes, but I promised a funnel within a funnel, I will deliver. So when it comes to self-service display, one of the things that we like to look at within that is there are different targeting or behavioral or keyword attributes, right? So how do you want to break those out within the funnel itself? So, obviously we recommend behavioral targeting up towards the top and keyword towards the bottom. And this is one of the nice things about the Instacart capability when it comes to the self-service display. And again, such a qualified user to have even searched to even get to this part of the funnel. And last but not least, of course, brand pages. So brand pages are free. Do it. I promise. It's just do it. Does support third-party URL tracking. So if you are going to push from like a social platform or something, this is a good way to do it. You can test it, see what happens. I liked the templates. It was pretty straightforward. I mean, one of the things that I've talked to a lot of brands about was, doing it or not doing it. Obviously, some of the larger brands have the collateral. It's hard. You got to get in the queue sometimes. They've made it fairly straightforward. So just get in the queue. Just get it going, especially for Q4. All right. I know, it's almost lunchtime. I asked for a generic food slide, and then I was like, this is fine. And then I started to look at it, and I was like, who eats raw-ish avocados with pineapple in it? I don't know. Like, it just doesn't seem like it works, but it's fine. The color scheme works. So, again, workshop. These next two slides, I think, are probably the ones that I spent the most time and I think the most tactically important to take home, which is how to look at the different ad types against the different goals. So I picked the four most common goals that we hear. So ROAS, if your goal is ROAS when it comes to Instacart, you're just doing sponsored products all day long. Don't kid yourself. This is what you're doing. And I know a lot of us want to move up the funnel. We've talked about, we want to move up the funnel, but then there's somebody elsewhere who goes, but ROAS. And so as you're trying to make that argument, this is a good place to start. And that's why I layer on growth. So these should each layer on top of each other as you get more complex and in depth with your Instacart investment. So, all right, your goal is ROAS, maybe about growth. All right, let's throw in some self-service display, but let's do keyword targeted. So like, again, it's like it just turns it up each notch. Discoverability. Now we're going to add in the audience targeting and some of those behaviors. Maybe we'll throw in some coupons and the new customers. Let's blow it out. Let's do an aisle banner. And then for some of you, you may receive ICIP reports or ICIP. I don't know. We're working on the name, right? Okay.
I like ICIP.
So what I did was I grabbed the most common ones that you would see in like, I think it's tier 4 or 3. So something that you might actually like have yourself and if you don't spend $100 million and kind of line that up also against the funnel and where you might utilize that information relative to the different ad types that there are on Instacart. So hopefully that's helpful. And then of course, no presentation of a workshop would be complete without a couple of case studies. So these are leave behinds for you. And apparently we're doing construction. So I'm just going to go ahead and not read these at you so that you can take these away. And this is, obviously, these are 2 supplied by Instacart, this one. And then we have one more. One of the things that I liked about these in particular is they do talk about the different types layering over each other. And that's the same with this one. I will say that Tinuiti, we did test sponsored display by itself. Not a fan by itself, a fan with sponsored products. So as you might imagine, right? So it's like when you do the funnel, right? You can't just fill it from the top and be like, surely they'll make it to the bottom, right? You have to meet them at each point. So key takeaways, more functionality and flexibility is coming. I don't know if you caught that. Also apparently more construction. And again, a full funnel approach is available like never before. So test it out before Q4 because fun fact, and you'll see this on the Instacart blog, a lot of traffic in Q4 is not right before Thanksgiving like you would think it is. It's the week after because everyone is tired of other people. So they just want it brought to them. So keep that in mind. All right, we do have a couple minutes for questions, I believe. I went fast there at the end to make sure because we have full room and obviously I have competition now. So you can also find us anywhere. Questions? We got one. Hang on.
Are there any ad opportunities for grocery retailers?
Not yet. We are, though, just so our team now is actually aligned with the retail organization. We used to be two separate teams. And so we do expect a lot more opportunity coming from that alignment, a lot of synergies there.
I asked for it too. Okay. Anyone else? Questions? You can always find us also afterwards. Our QR codes are here. I am available via LinkedIn, Twitter, bother us. I do want to make sure that I also leave us with some resources here. So these, of course, are not clickable in your hands, but they are available online as far as what we have here. So Instacart's ad blog, that's pretty much the golden standard there. I would definitely recommend signing up for that. As mentioned earlier, I do write for Adweek once in a while. I get to say that, but I don't know how much I get to actually say I'm associated with them. And then I see the Tinuiti blog, and I just finished. I have a blog post on the Tinuiti blog. It's the top 12 retail media networks compared. So I've only written for the Tinuiti blog once, but when I do, it's pretty massive, and I just refreshed it last month. So I do highly recommend it if you have a moment. Otherwise, the temperature in here went up to 100, right? Okay, cool. I'm going to turn it back over to Chris.
All right, we're just drilling in a lot of these insights and tactics into you, right? Elizabeth and Suzanne, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I have a QR code myself, too. Elizabeth, did you know you're quoted in our retail media report, Adweek's retail media report?
That's awesome.
Hot off the presses an hour ago, so if you want it, I got it. You can shoot my QR code as well. Thank you so much. Lunch is served on the 9th floor. We'll see you back down here for master classes at about 1:25 and then main stage.